Hey, Michael here. I want to talk to you a little today about the pros and cons of self-publishing. I've been self-publishing my comics since, the senior year of high school is when I started working on the comics, and then we started printing them pretty much in junior college, so it's been a while. As you can tell, I've been out of high school for a while, but it's been a choice. I've had a couple times where we were close to signing with a publisher to get some of our stuff out there and chose not to, and other times where we've actively looked for publishers and it didn't really work out for one reason or another. But so I've got some experience with the self-publishing game. If you didn't know, Black Snow Comics, which is pretty much just me and whoever I collaborate with at this point, is just kind of the name that I came up with a long time ago for the self-publishing company itself. Sometimes I get approached by people that want me to publish their comics, and that's not really what I do. Depending on what they want, maybe there's some interest there. It's never really worked out though. But so don't hit me up with all your comic ideas that you want me to publish, because that's not really what I do. I can barely get my own out there, which is one of the cons. So, well, let's start with the pros. When you self-publish, you do whatever you want, which is really nice. You don't have anyone telling you what content you can or cannot do. If you want to do something that's maybe a little more mature or risque, you can. You don't have anyone telling you that you have to do something that's targeting a specific demographic. Basically, you have full creative freedom, which, if you're making your own comics, is pretty important, because you want to be telling your story and you want to be pursuing your own interests. It also means you don't have to stick with anyone's deadlines. You call the shots, basically. So that's definitely the biggest pro. Cons, as I mentioned, it's harder to get your stuff out there and get publicity. It's all on you. I mean, if you have the resources to hire someone that can help you with that kind of thing, or a firm that helps you with that kind of thing, that could be something, but it's all based on your resources. Unless you're getting an investor. Sorry, my cat's knocking the camera. Unless you're getting an investor or someone that's willing to help you out financially, you're going to be putting your own money out there for anything you want. So when it comes to like printing things and stocking things, when you want to go out there and sell them, you're going to have the capital to do that, which is hard for a lot of people. Some publishing places that you work with for printing might only want to do like a 1,000 run print and give you a little discount, but then you're stuck with like 1,000 copies of your book or whatever that you got to sell, and maybe you're not going to sell it, who knows. There are things that have started helping. I can't. Here, psst, go. A silly cat. Anyway, there are companies now that are helpful with stuff like that, where you can do more on-demand printing, or they offer better deals for printing smaller quantity runs or things like that. Like I do my books that I've published through Amazon, which was previously CreateSpace. Now it's Amazon Kindle Direct Publishing. And then for single issues, recently I've used Kablam. When I started out, I just printed my own stuff at Kinko's, and then I would go pick it up and sell it at shows or whatever. Beyond just like your hard cost for printing your stuff and your materials and things, there's costs for your marketing and advertising, which can be very tricky. And with the webcomic stuff, it's always been kind of hard to get your your particular webcomic out there, you have to waste all this time putting it on other people's websites, telling people vote for me here, do this here, and it's changed a bit now, but being someone who's been doing the webcomic thing for the last like 15 years, I've seen it change a lot, but it's always been a struggle. People don't want to go vote for your stuff. You don't really want to sit there promoting your stuff constantly. So that's the type of things to consider. Personally, I like that I can do whatever I want. I like the freedom. If you can't tell, I don't really like doing the marketing stuff, and self-promoting is not my favorite thing. I would much rather, if I had the resources, just have someone that helped me out with that aspect of it. And maybe that's something I'll do in the future. But pretty much it's always come down to me, and me just trying to get the word of mouth out there and get some support. So that's the main things to consider if you're wanting to publish your stuff or work with the publisher. It also, you want to think, if you have your own original idea, or if you want to work on someone else's ideas, because that's another big aspect. It's harder to get your own stuff and bring it to some publisher and get it published. That's a whole nother step. If you just want to go work at a comic place, that's totally different. And that they would be hiring you to work on their own stuff, most likely, not a creator-owned property, depending on the publisher. But that's just some of what I've experienced. So you take it for what it is. If you really want to get your stuff out there, then I would probably go the self-publishing route. If you just want to kind of break in the industry, or you think your stuff is kind of mainstream, that's something a publisher would enjoy, see what happens when you submit it and what a publisher is willing to offer you. The thing that I found with the publishers that were interested in us, they didn't have a ton of resources themselves, and at that point I had to stop and say, well, if they're not going to be able to offer me a heck of a lot more than I can do on my own, and then it's going to lead to them being able to put restrictions on what I'm producing, what's the point? So you got to weigh your options. So I guess that's it for now.